Міцні народи незламної країни.
Strong people of an unbreakable country. Today is a 110th day of our defense, and when you say that, the 110th, you realize what a great path we have covered. The enemy was driven out of the Zhytomyr, Kyiv, Chernihiv and Sumy regions. A large part of the Kharkiv region was liberated. In total, more than 1,000 settlements have been liberated. The invasion of the occupiers in the south of Ukraine was stopped. Yes, they still want to destroy Mykolaiv, Zaporizhia and the cities of the Dnipropetrovsk region. They still have enough strength to shoot from the artillery at Zelenodolsk and Gulay-Pole. Odessa remains a target for the Russian fleet. But dozens of the attacking attempts of the Russian army have already been thwarted right there in the south. And thanks to the counter-offensive, some communities in the Kherson region have already been liberated. In the battles in Donbas, and they will surely go down in military history as one of the most brutal battles in Europe, and for Europe, the Ukrainian army and our intelligence tactically still beat the Russian military. And this is despite the significant advantage of the Russians in the amount of equipment, and especially artillery systems. The price of this battle for us is very high. It's just scary, and we draw the attention of our partners on a daily basis to the fact that only a sufficient number of modern artillery for Ukraine will ensure our advantage, and finally the end of Russian torture of the Ukrainian Donbas. Today it became known about the death of another child caused by the Russian shelling, right there, right in Donbas, in the Luhansk region. The boy was born in 2016. He lived in Lysychansk in an ordinary house on Moskovska Street. This is it. A 6-year-old boy on Moskovska Street is also, as it turned out, a dangerous enemy for the Russian Federation. We are dealing with absolute evil, and we have no choice but to move on. Free our entire territory, drive the occupiers out of all our regions, and although now the width of our front is already more than 2.5 thousand kilometers, it is felt that the strategic initiative is still ours. We will come to all our cities, to all our villages which do not yet have our flag on the administrative buildings. Although there are a lot of Ukrainian flags there, in people's houses, I am sure of it, and we have already seen them when people protested against the occupiers, and we will see them again everywhere when we return. We will come to Kherson, and ordinary Kherson residents will meet our army on the streets of the city. The failure of the occupiers who tried to celebrate the so-called Russia Day only proves that Kherson is a Ukrainian city, and Kherson residents will celebrate only Ukrainian holidays. We will come to Melitopol, and we will return to all Melitopol residents the opportunity to live without fear. And, by the way, all the collaborators who are now threatening to take away land from farmers in Melitopol and other districts of Zaporizhia will most likely end up in this land themselves. We will come to Mariupol, and we will liberate the city for the third time. It was liberated from the Nazis in 1943 by a brilliant operation. In 2014, on this day, June the 13th, thanks to the courage of our Azov and other units, Mariupol was liberated for the second time, liberated from the militias, who at that time were not yet fully aware of what the Russian state was sending them to, and now they see it all. They see burnt Mariupol, they see why the Russians came there, but we will not allow them to take this city deal. We will return it, definitely. It only takes enough weapons to make it happen. The partners have it, in sufficient quantities, and we work every day for the political will to give us these weapons to appear. We will come to Enerhodar, and I want to repeat to everyone in this city who took to the streets against the Russian military, who refuses to cooperate with the occupiers, and who is waiting for us today. I want to repeat that we have not forgotten about our Enerhodar for a day. We must understand that the occupiers are keeping the occupied territory not just in an information blockade. I would call it a civilization blockade. They are trying to make people not just know nothing about Ukraine and how we are trying to liberate our territory, they are trying to make them stop even thinking about returning to normal life, forcing them to reconcile. In some areas, the occupiers are deliberately preventing the restoration of electricity supply. In many communities, they simply blocked communication. Our television is being turned off. They closed the exit from the occupation and simply do not even allow humanitarian corridors so that we can bring people at least basic goods and medicines. And I ask everyone who has such an opportunity to communicate with people in the occupied south, in Donbas, in the Kharkiv region, tell them about Ukraine, tell them the truth, say that there will be liberation. Say it to Kyrylivka, Henichesk, Berdyansk, Manhush. Say it to Horlivka, Donetsk, Luhansk. Say it to everyone in the Kharkiv region who is still forced to see the Russian flag on the Ukrainian land. Tell them that the Ukrainian army will definitely come. Of course, we will liberate our Crimea as well. The flag of Ukraine will fly again over Yalta and Sudak, over Dzhankoi and Yevpatoriya, and let every Russian official who has seized precious land in Crimea remember, this is not the land where they will have peace. There is no one today who will say exactly how long our path to victory will take, but the vast majority of people today are already there. This is our path. This is how this war will end. We will rebuild everything that was destroyed by the occupiers, from Volnovakha to Kharkiv, because this is Ukraine and it is our destiny to return and strengthen it. I am proud of all our defenders. Eternal glory to you. Eternal memory to everyone whose life was taken by the occupiers. Glory to Ukraine.